All right, everybody, what's going on? Good evening. We've got a few more corners to get through here. These are going to be your projected round 4 corners right now, currently on the aggregate imagined as 4th round picks. And we're going to start with Daylen Everette. And this should be one that, as a Seahawks fan, I think we should be paying attention to. I think there's going to be some interest here. Georgia Bulldog, 22, good size. He's very tall. He's got good weight, almost 200 pounds, almost 32-inch arms, pretty good there. Hands are big too, if we care about that. Ran a really good 40, not the best 10-yard split though, so kind of interesting there. You usually don't see that. Broad jump was just okay, but the big boards, we got some thirds, we got some fourths. The aggregate puts him in the early-ish fourth. Last 2 years for Georgia, he's been pretty productive. 10 passes defense this last year, 3 interceptions the year before, 108 tackles. The coverage numbers, not amazing. This last year, 68 targets, 440 yards. I mean, that's still fine. PFF grade didn't really spike the way you were hoping, but he did improve overall, I think. He just didn't get as many interceptions, and that can often be kind of a fluky thing. So Daylen Everette, he brings the size and length you want as a boundary corner, so he should be able to play on the outside without issue at the NFL level. He's shown some good ball skills. I know that it was kind of a recent thing because this last year he had the double-digit passes defense. The year before, he only had 3, but he does show good ball skills. He understands how to watch a play when he's in zone as he's facing the play and understand where things are going and how to get to where he needs to get to make a play. So I do think he's going to be a good zone corner. His technique is solid when he presses, so he's a pretty good press corner. And he does have some pretty good footwork. I think his footwork will allow him to do some man coverage stuff. Now, that does kind of swing into one of the negatives. I do think he gives up separation when left in man coverage. I think he's more of a zone corner than a man. He can get distracted by eye candy as well. He's mediocre in tackling, and he's not super willing to get involved in run support, so there are some holes there. And even though he ran the 4.38, which is great, he doesn't look that fast on the field. He gets stacked vertically sometimes, and he also commits too many penalties. So, to me, the main thing here is he's got to improve his willingness to tackle, got to be more willing to get involved in run support. If he can do that, I think this is a nice fit. I think that this is a zone corner that McDonald's going to be into. And I think that the size and length will allow him to play on the boundary, no problem. The ball skills are nice. So I think this works if you get to day 3 and you've got a pick early in day 3 and you need a corner. I'd say 3rd round value. I actually like him more than the aggregate. I'd put him in the 3rd personally. So that is my evaluation of Everette. I like him. Will Lee III of Texas A&M is next up here. Another bigger corner, and a lot of the guys we're going to look at for the rest of this series are bigger corners. This guy's 6'1.5", 189 pounds, so he's lean, but he's got the height, he's got the length, long arms, hands not so big, I guess. Not fast, not quick, 4.52, not very good. He did have monster jumps, so he does have some explosive movement skills, but in terms of speed, not really there, kind of what you would expect from a bigger guy. Mostly 4th rounders in the aggregates, but there are some outliers here. CBS puts him in the late 3rd, so does the Draft Network. Walter Football had him in the early 2nd. They really like him. The aggregate does put him in the early 4th, however. Good production over the last 2 years. 92 tackles, 18 passes defensed. No interception. Well, excuse me, 2 interceptions. So not a ton of takeaways, but a lot of plays on the ball. Last year, the coverage numbers were a little bit shaky. 59 targets, 520 yards. Not really what you want to see. The year before was a little bit better. Still not great, though, and that's a big reason why the PFF grades are not that good with him. So we do have some holes here, but he's got the length and size to work on the outside along the boundary in the NFL. Lots of ball production. He's very tough to deal with at the catch point. If he's there at the catch point, he's so big and long, it's hard to get the ball around him. He also has some pretty decent hips for his size. His hips are pretty fluid when he flips them. He's got a clean click and close. He's able to close on the play in front of him as it's happening. And he's got a lot of experience in zone and man. So he can probably do both. I think he's probably better in probably better in man overall, but He's done a lot of both, and he can become good at both. Now, I do think his feel for playing the position is not all there yet. He does need to develop better corner instincts. He doesn't have the speed to hold up when fast receiver runs a vert on him. Can't keep up. And sometimes he grabs and commits penalties when he gets beat. So there's going to be that. And he's not a great tackler. His technique is not good. He ends up on the ground a lot. He must develop eyes in zone better as well. Even though I do think there's some potential there, I think that his ability to read the play and read the routes is a little bit behind. So good frame. I just don't know what's going to happen here. He's probably going to need to put on some weight, but he's already slow as it is. So I'm not super into Will Lee the third, I don't think. I'm a little bit concerned about that element of it. So late fourth round, the ball skills are worth something, but I don't know. This one I was not super into. Tacario Davis is going to wrap us up here for this video and today. And if you're a Huskies fan, you know what's up here. Very interesting player. 22 years old. It was his first year in Washington last year. The year before that, he was Arizona State. He is one of the biggest corners we've ever seen. He is almost 6'4", 194 pounds. So he's not super heavy or anything. There are heavier corners, but what that tells you is that he's got the frame to add weight if he really wants to. Very long arms, almost 33.5 inches. Hands are pretty decently big. And he still ran a really nice 40. Now, the 10-yard split is ugly, but the 40 is good. The broad jump's good, given how big he is. You wouldn't expect a monster broad when you're that big. Big boards, mostly fourth round. CBS has him down in the 6th or 7th. They really don't like him. But the aggregate has him in the late 4th, late-ish 4th, maybe mid-4th. Had a couple picks last year, but only 3 passes defense. He didn't play a lot. He missed a lot of time because of injury. Only 19 tackles. His coverage numbers were great. Gave up about 5 yards per target, but it's a small sample size. And the PFF grade wasn't that good. Year before that, when he actually played the whole season, no interceptions, 6 passes defense, coverage numbers, So it kind of feels like we didn't get a complete picture of Tacario Davis when he was in college. Mostly because he missed a lot of that final year at UW. But we know he's got the size, he's got the length. He's going to be a great press corner, really hard to deal with in press because he's so strong and physical. It's really hard to beat him on a vertical route because he's got the speed and he's got the size to break up the pass at the end there. So that's really hard to deal with. He's fast as long as you allow him to go in a straight line. Like if a receiver runs a vert, he's going to be able to keep up for the most part. He should be able to become a great tackler because you look at him and he's got the range, he's got the size, he's got all that stuff you want from a tackling corner. He's got good ability when he's in zone. He's a good reader of plays. He's got a high motor, always giving great effort. Now, he's not quick, so you can beat him off the line. There are definitely going to be craftier route runners out there that are able to beat him. He can get lost against good route runners and man in general. He's not a super smooth open field mover. So his change of direction stuff isn't what you want to be. He's not yet a very good tackler. He needs to improve there. He needs to actually invest time into it. And he can be a little slow to react at what's in front of him sometimes. So, fascinating prospect. I like it. I like what's going on here with Tacario Davis. I see a guy who could be a big problem in zone. I see a guy who should become a good tackler, although he needs to show he's willing to do it. And I'd take him in the back end of the 3rd round. If he's there at pick 96 or whatever, I don't mind that at all. All right, that's going to do it for this video. Let me know what you guys think. More corners tomorrow. We'll wrap things up and see you guys later. Go Hawks. Everyone have a good rest of your night.